Browns free agency. Eyeing re-signing. Might have backup option. The Cleveland Browns have one starter on defense hitting NFL free agency, Devin Bush. Kaden Elliss might be backup plan. It is Christmas Eve in the NFL. Well, actually, it is kind of like the eve of the day you snuck and found out what you were getting for Christmas, but had to wait a few days to officially unwrap and take hold of your new presents. Legal tampering is a fun time for teams to talk to players, agree to contracts, and get fans talking before actually making things official. Every once in a while, drama occurs between an initial report of a player signing and actually signing. For the Cleveland Browns, NFL free agency sees a lot of their roster available. OL Wyatt Teller has said goodbye to Cleveland, as has T. David Njoku. There is hope that OL Joel Bitonio will put off retirement to return in 2026, but he is also set for free agency as well. On the defensive side of the ball, the Browns placed a restricted tender on starting safety Ronnie Hickman, but starting linebacker Devin Bush is set to hit the free agent market as well. According to ESPN's Jeremy Fowler, Cleveland would like to bring Bush back. At the same time, Fowler noted that LB Kaden Elliss has a connection to the Browns as well. Linebacker Kaden Elliss has fans around the league among the previous staffs he has played for: San Francisco, defensive coordinator Raheem Morris, and Cleveland, defensive coordinator Mike Rittenberg, among others, though Cleveland has interest in re-signing Devin Bush at linebacker. Elliss was a 7th-round pick in the 2019 NFL Draft. After 4 seasons with the New Orleans Saints, Elliss started all 51 games the last 3 seasons with the Atlanta Falcons. Pro Football Focus projected Elliss' free agent contract as 3 years, $36 million with $21 million guaranteed, noting his strengths and weaknesses. While Elliss is somewhat limited in coverage, having never earned a 70.0 PFF coverage grade in a season, he does offer plenty in the passing game with his ability to rush the passer. He has earned PFF pass rush grades above 80.0 in each of the past 2 seasons, totaling 73 pressures in that span. PFF has Bush rated much higher, 9th versus 88th, but projects the same overall contract with the Browns' current starter earning $3 million more in guarantees. Given their grade on Bush, it is surprising his contract projection is basically the same as Elliss. Bush produced just 160.0 plus PFF grade from 2019 through 2023, but he has broken out over his 2 seasons with the Cleveland Browns. He finished the 2025 season with an 87.6 PFF grade that ranked 4th among all linebackers, and his 3 interceptions tied for 3rd at the position. Browns free agency. Eyeing re-signing, but keeping a backup plan. Every offseason in the National Football League feels like a chess match. Teams calculate salary caps, study player performance, and anticipate the moves of rivals. For the Cleveland Browns, this year's free agency period brings a familiar challenge: deciding whether to re-sign a valuable player while quietly preparing a backup option in case negotiations fall apart. Inside the Browns' front office, the atmosphere is a mixture of hope and caution. The team knows that keeping core players together can strengthen chemistry and continuity. At the same time, the reality of the NFL is that deals do not always go as planned. A contract dispute, a higher offer from another team, or a difference in long-term vision can quickly change the direction of negotiations. The Browns' leadership understands this delicate balance well. Re-signing a player they already trust would be the ideal outcome. Familiarity with the system, coaching staff, and locker room culture often leads to better performance on the field. A returning player doesn't need months to adjust. They already know the playbook, the expectations, and their teammates' tendencies. From a creative team-building perspective, continuity can feel like keeping the core of a story intact. Imagine a novel where the main character suddenly disappears halfway through the plot. The narrative becomes unstable. In football terms, losing an important player in free agency can create a similar disruption. Coaches must redesign strategies, teammates must adapt, and the team's identity can shift overnight. Yet the Browns know they cannot rely on hope alone. Free agency in the NFL is unpredictable, and preparation is everything. That is why the team is also exploring a backup plan. While negotiations continue with the player they hope to retain, scouts and analysts are quietly evaluating alternatives: veteran free agents, younger players with potential, and even draft prospects who could fill the role. This dual strategy is not a sign of doubt. Rather, it is a sign of professionalism. Successful NFL franchises often plan for multiple scenarios at once. If the Browns manage to complete the re-signing, the backup options simply become depth or future investments. If the deal collapses, the organization can move quickly instead of scrambling at the last minute. Fans often see free agency only from the outside, through headlines and rumors. But inside the front office, every decision involves layers of analysis. Financial considerations play a major role. The NFL salary cap forces teams to carefully distribute resources. Paying too much for one player could limit the ability to strengthen other positions. The Browns also have to think about long-term development. A veteran player might bring stability, but a younger alternative could provide growth and flexibility for years to come. The question becomes philosophical as much as practical. Is it better to secure reliability now, or invest in potential for the future? In many ways, the free agency process reflects creativity as much as strategy. Building a competitive football team is not just about statistics, it is about imagination. General managers must visualize how players will fit together, how schemes will evolve, and how the roster will look months or even years down the line. For the Browns, the hope is simple. Keep the player they value and maintain momentum. A successful re-signing would send a message that the team believes in its current direction. It would reassure fans that the organization is committed to stability and growth. But if the situation unfolds differently, the backup plan ensures the story continues. Football seasons rarely follow perfect scripts. Injuries, trades, and unexpected performances constantly reshape the league. Teams that survive and thrive are the ones prepared for every possibility. As free agency approaches, Browns supporters will watch closely, refreshing news feeds and analyzing every rumor. Behind the scenes, however, the organization will continue its quiet balancing act, pursuing the ideal outcome while preparing for the unexpected. PFF projects Devin Lloyd to bring home the biggest contract among free agent linebackers, 3 years, $48 million with $32.5 million guaranteed. Given Ruttenberg's familiarity with Ellis and the potential for Bush to receive a huge contract offer, it will be interesting to see if Cleveland's defense sees a change at one starting position this offseason.